Yeah, I need some help.
What's the matter?
With my math.
With your mouth?
No, with my math. I have to do it. Will you help me?
Sure. Where do you live?
No, it's my math.
Yeah, I know it. Where do you live, though?
No.
Edward Bach's article, A National Crime at the Feet of Parents in the 1900s, stated that homework threatened physical and mental health, undermined parental authority over children, and wasted time that should be spent with family. It also made children unnaturally unplayful. Ever since, anti-homework sentiment has been growing, and in 1901, California banned homework under 15.
There was a brief reprieve of anti-homework propaganda during the Cold War when Sputnik was launched, and Americans wanted children to progress in their educational studies so they could keep up with their Russian counterparts. However, propaganda about anti-homework arose again in the late 90s in the front cover of magazines. And also, in 2013, it made a reappearance when Carl Taro Greenfeld wrote the article, My Daughter's Homework is Killing Me, in which he pretended he was a modern-day student and did his 13-year-old's homework for a week.
Research from the Brookings Institution shows homework amount per week, which had been shrinking until 2012, was now rising once again. Students, teachers, and parents all respond to this in our community of Suffolk County.
How much homework do you give to your students a night?
I teach this new course, AP World, and I give the students way too much homework a night.
How much homework on average do you have a night?
On average, an hour to an hour and a half.
Sometimes I go to bed at like 1 in the morning just with homework and studying because it's so much.
Teachers give so much homework most of the time I don't even finish it and I wind up going to gymnastics instead.
I probably have about a similar amount of homework in terms of the time commitment in high school and college, but my homework in college is definitely a lot harder.
Would you say homework is essential to the learning process in this class?
In this class, unfortunately, yes. In general, like in school, I think sometimes homework, there's too much of it.
Overall, yes, but the busy work, no.
I think that the homework that I did in high school helped me to learn in high school, which then prepared me to then go on and take more advanced classes in college. And I also think that the amount of homework that I had in high school prepared me for the amount of homework that I would have in college. So making the time commitment was a lot easier to do because I had a significant amount of homework in high school.
Do you find it important for students to have social lives?
I do. I think that when school's over and when you're like an adult, you realize that none of this really matters at all. It's just about like measuring, your responsibility and can you complete a task. But the day-to-day stuff really isn't that important. I think your social lives are extremely important because it's kind of going to help shape you in terms of who you are just as much as school would.
Has your social life ever been affected by the amount of homework you've gotten?
Yeah, like if I have a lot of homework in one night, I'll turn my phone off and put it away for a long time, and then I have to go back on it and catch up on everything.
Yeah, if I have a lot of homework and I really have to get through it, I have to put my phone down, turn it off, so I have to ignore my friends. Or say if I want to go to a basketball game, I can't because of dance and then all the homework, so that's frustrating.
I don't think it really affected my social life because most of the homework that I had in high school was on weekdays when I had a lot of other commitments such as sports and other extracurricular activities to worry about. And most of my social life happened on the weekends, so I wouldn't say it really had much of an effect.
What about in college? Do you have time to focus on your social life?
I think in college, a lot of people don't have their priorities straight. In college, you're there to learn and to study, and a lot of people put their social life before their academic commitments. But I think that if you do your homework, then you definitely have time to focus on your social life, as long as you don't let your social life, take up too much of your time where you don't have enough time to focus on academics.
How do you feel about the idea of homework on the weekends?
I think it's not right because we finally have like 2 days off to be with family and friends, and I think like schoolwork should be after school, not on our free time.
I think homework on weekends is actually beneficial to students because it refreshes the topic, but obviously not a lot of homework would help.
Have you ever thought of exercising and didn't have time to do your homework?
Well, me, I go to the gym and get my homework done, so it doesn't really affect me.
Yeah, I always want to go to retro on that grind, you know? And I can't because of dance and then all the homework, so I just can't fit it in.
With the amount of homework you receive in college, are you able to focus on your health?
I think that, again, this comes down to how well you can manage your time. If you have your priorities straight, then it's easy to budget your time accordingly and focus on, your health and your social life and other aspects besides academics. But if you let one or more aspects of your life dominate the others, then you might have a harder time focusing on what's really important.
Have you ever gotten stressed by the amount of homework you were given?
Yeah, sometimes I'm given like a lot of essays and just to study for a lot of tests, and it's overwhelming with my extra activity.
Yes, when there's a lot and I have like multiple tests the next day, just like all piles on each other and just a lot.
Is homework in college more stressful or less stressful than in high school?
I think that homework in college is definitely more stressful than it was in high school because, first of all, the homework is harder, the material is harder, and also, given that we don't have class every day in college, if you need help with your homework, you're going to have to go to talk to your professor during office hours in your own time, and professors are a lot less lenient about turning in assignments than teachers were in high school. In high school, you could get away most of the time with handing in an assignment late with little to no penalty, but in college, if you don't turn an assignment in on time, usually you'll just get a 0.